What is up, guys? We're live sim trading sim trading live data today on January 5th 2021. We're in a trade right now. Not sure if this is a good one, but we shall see. This was our signal bar, broke lower first and pushed on higher. So let's see. I'll talk about the trade if we get the scalp. Or get stopped out, whichever comes first. Man, I just have to be controlling my anger today. Nice, we got the scalp. Okay, so we had like a double tap here. I didn't really want to take a second entry. I want to take less second entries that take second entries that actually look like second entries. So less second entries. This doesn't really look like a swing high first entry, second entry. Although maybe you could take a position and done something there, but we just counted that as a double top. First entry, good like move. Second entry, and it's a huge spike as well. I mean, yeah. I'm still thinking we could have maybe took that on a like 5-point entry or non-obvious. Any of them seem to work. Not a 1-point entry just yet. It's only 3 bars, but maybe a non-obvious 5-point non-obvious 5-point entry doesn't get triggered. Anyway, you had a double top first entry, second entry right here. It's a spike straight down to these lows. There's 2 things I really like about this trade. The fact that it's spiked down. If you take a look at the minute chart, people like to buy that right back up. What more reason to buy? Let's make sure our audio is working. True. Okay, good. What other reason to buy after breaking out past this low? People like to trade back into the range. And also you're hitting these lows that have been tested a couple times. I was just a little worried about that people would sell back to this low and then buy, but it looks like just enough amount of people bought here, maybe on like a double bottom sort of thing. So yeah, we got that scalp. Entered another trade. It looks like it backfired on us already. But this is a good test because I have something to say about this one. So hello. Nice. All right. So we took a second entry short, a clean one. A clean one meaning like a good looking 2-second entry, which is a swing low first entry, second entry. That's a nice looking one. But why is it super duper nice? It's because we've been on a strong downtrend. That's the only thing I was worried about. And we broke out of this level of resistance right here. And as we measured that low right there perfectly across there, so that way we know we broke past there and came back and retested. Usually when we come back to retest that, people like to trade back into the range. Their main goal is to trade the market back up here to the highs. And so selling there in the second entry, pushing it away from where they wanted to go. I think that was a pretty good trade. So nice. I was just a little bit worried about the strong downtrend here, but as you can see, there's always been like moments where the market moved up, like here, and it bounced there, and people are just looking for an opportunity to go long. So yeah, I think because of the strong downtrend, a lot of people were going to go long because they're trying to fool a lot of people who think the market's going to keep going down. It feels a little bit more sideways like this and up and down, and then we did this. I'm not 100% sure if the second entry would have worked because it has been a strong downtrend, and if it wasn't a strong downtrend, people would be buying, say, oh wait, we've been up and down like crazy, and then more people would have started selling to try and push out of the range, if that makes sense. So if you've been in that range for a super duper long time, that support and resistance were holding, or if it's just I think the strong downtrend is what made people go long here, essentially, because they want to fool the people who are going short, thinking the strong downtrend is super strong. So I think the strong downtrend here is pretty key because they're trying to fool the people. Traders are trying to fool people who are going to continue that strong downtrend because they think it's a strong downtrend up until a certain point. And they're like, oh, everybody thinks this is a good strong downtrend, but little do they know it's a range. So they go long right there and try to pick the lows and push back the range back to the other side. So that strong downtrend is key when going short out or long outside of a range. In this case, we went short outside of the range, and it was a good trade. I don't think I'm going to be able to record when doing this stuff live because we had another trade here. I'm not sure what I would have done. We have strong downtrend. Just push on out. I think people were now convinced that this market's going to keep going down. So probably buying here was the best idea. So buying right there. Thinking, would I do a 5-point entry? No, I would buy right here. Well, I would like to try and convince them because now everybody's thinking the market's going to continue in this direction. So you have to figure out the point. Where do people think the market's going to keep going in that direction and become a trending day instead of a range day? And for that moment's trigger would have been right here. People were convinced, man, this market's just going to keep on going down. So actually buying here on a double bottom is actually a pretty good idea because yeah, but it looks like we have another second entry and a swing low first entry. Just got a trade, but I think we might have should have sold, but let's see. Should trigger pretty fast, either one of these. Oh shoot, wait, we gotta get out of this trade. Alright, the reason we have to get out because that's not our signal bar, this is our signal bar. Alright, so we gotta exit this trade. Came to the tick, pushed on up, and yeah, came to the tick here and passed it. So if that happens, these people already got their scalp, or if anyone's actually trading, but what we wanted to happen already happened. So yeah, and it looks like we actually would have maybe got stopped out. No, not yet, if we had our signal bar here, but let's not even talk about that because this is our signal bar, this is not. Yeah. Oh, we should have bought here. This was convincing a lot of people that the market was going to keep going down. So yeah, we got stopped out here. We had a couple legs down, so that was starting to convince a lot of people the market was going to keep on going in this direction. 2 strong legs. I thought. So even though there's a little bit of a double bottom here, like a support, that's nothing, like absolutely nothing. We can imagine a ton of people buying that already and getting stopped out. So even though people do like to trade back into ranges, this is convincing more than enough people, especially with the strong downtrend, that the market's going to keep going in this direction. So buying there is actually the best option. Or a 5-point entry. Looks like a 5-point entry would have been pretty good too, because yeah, I think a 5-point entry instead of a sell on a spike. Yeah, because we sold on a spike just a little late. So yeah, 5-point entry would have been the best thing to do, because the market would start pushing up back into the range, or like the support slash resistance. And yeah, it's not too much of a spike, so a 5-point entry would have been a better trade. Just enter the trade. Oh, we should have bought. Yeah. So buying there is the best option. People are still saying this is a downtrend. Can't look at this as a range anymore, just because we broke all that level of resistance, and it's a strong downtrend. So we can imagine 10 people taking that second entry short or taking a spike back down. So selling there is actually the best option. All right, we took a trade here on a 1-tick entry. Don't know where we entered a little late, but I was playing with my toys that toy. But don't be doing that. We gotta pretend like this is real. But we had a swing low, first entry, second entry. We just switched to 950 tick chart. Market is open, so 1-tick entry right there is a nice trade. People are gonna be picking the top of that spike, so yeah, pretty good trade. As you can see in the minute chart, it's just shooting straight up, so people are gonna definitely be trying to sell this thing. Might enter this trade, maybe that. Nice. Just enough, huh? So we sold because this is a strong spike up. I was gonna buy originally, but this is such a strong trend up, and people are gonna try and push the market in this direction, continue to push the market in this direction, because they have FOMO that everybody now thinks, oh, the ideal pattern here is that the market does a little pullback, then it just keeps skyrocketing. So you can imagine a ton of people having FOMO and just placing the order right here in the second entry, trying to get in the market, and so that pulled back just enough. Alright, it looks like we got pretty lucky there. Buying could have been, actually no. If you buy here, you would have got stopped out. Yeah, because your stop's like, let's see, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, you would have got stopped out. So yeah, selling there was the best option for us at least. Missed the trade here, but we had a swing high, first entry, second entry, 1-tick entry right there. It's your first opportunity. It's still sideways. It didn't break below this level of resistance. I mean support. So 1-tick entry was a-okay right there. Just got in the market. Got the scalp. I was a little worried that everybody would be buying here, but people are picking those stops still, and they're still selling. So we took a 1-tick entry and a swing low, first entry, second entry, buying right there after that spike. You just really got to play out the rules, which is like, if you have that spike, it's more often better to buy there, because just because the rule, and trying to find rules, I think the best play here. That way we're not just guessing half the time. If you stick to those rules, I think we're guaranteed to have a little bit more consistency at least. So have that spike, and we just pushed on out of here. So people like to trade back into it anyway. So buying there was the best option. Just took a position. Non-obvious three-pointer would have been a little bit better, just because you're a little sideways there. But as you can see, the swing high, first entry, second entry. It's your first opportunity to enter this trend up, but you kind of going sideways here. It does look like prices are reversing. You have a high there, then you test the high again, you push back, and you might be testing it again, which is why you should probably do a non-obvious. Usually when you have that level of resistance, you want to do a non-obvious three-pointer, and you would have gotten just the same, but actually no, you would have gotten the trade. One ticker. All right, okay, sure, you win. One ticker. It's not much of a resistance. I was just trying to convince myself it was. If we tested it previously over here, then definitely. But as you can see, there was no forward test. So we can imagine the reason we did a one tick entry there is because we can imagine a ton of people still buying this thing and picturing that thing in their head, which is something like this happening again. Oh, I almost hit F4. Like a huge spike just shooting straight up like that. And so everybody's having FOMO and trying to buy this thing up, since there's barely any lower lows. It's just higher lows, higher highs. And so swing high first entry, the market has a strong push up here. We can imagine a ton of people buying right there. So good trade. Just entered the market. So this is our signal bar. Oh no, this is our signal bar. It pushed lower first, then pushed up, so we got triggered here, and yeah, one tick entry. It's a spike, swing high, first entry. This did push first, so this is your second entry here. But if you take a look at the minute chart, it has the same exact thing, so I think we're okay. So pretty good trade. That would be it for the day. Nice. Just gotta fill out an order. So yeah, swing low, first entry, best option here is to sell. Actually, kind of a tough one. I thought for sure that it looks like there was a lot of pressure here. Just got filled on an order. So it should work out. Famous last words. Nice. So the reason we knew that one was going to work on a swing high first entry, second entry is because a ton of people are still picturing this market shooting down. A lot of times, just like here, people were imagining a huge spike out there and people didn't want to miss out. And you got the trend pushing down here. And after that low thing here, people were going to imagine a crazy drop. And probably might still get it, but we knew a ton of people would be selling there to try and step out these people who are trying to trade double bottoms. And so again, we're trying to outsmart the people who are trying to outsmart the obvious. So selling here was the best option. You had a couple bottom, a double bottom. Market started pushing up, and we could suspect a lot of people trying to stop these people out here. So swing low, first entry, second entry short. About here. Okay, we got it. So we had a double top. Technically, this is not the setup, but it is, especially on the minute chart. The swing high, first entry. second entry right here. And so we can imagine 10 people still trying to push the market up out in this direction. And yeah, I think people are still trying to fight against going into this direction until we end up actually going in that direction. Then there's going to be a lot of like trying to push the market back up is what people are going to be doing. I was trying to fast forward. There's no fast forward here. Man, we're losing all our money, boys. Looks like once we broke here, with that strong spike down, people were going to try and sell back to the other side. That's the only thing I could think of, because we did break out this, and we can imagine a ton of people going short or buying here, trying to push the market back to the other side of this small range. But looks like everybody started selling, perhaps because we sold into it and took on the range. Yeah. So we had a strong spike down, became a range, and people were suspecting another spike down, so everybody started selling. So the best thing to do there is buy. So buying here is a better option, because a ton of people are trying to push the market down here, and so yeah, buying is the better option. We did not just get that lucky. We did not. We did not. No, we did not just get that lucky. Okay. Okay. Alright, so yeah, buying there is a better option. People are still trying to push this market down. People are thinking about the other side over here, and once we broke down there, started making a move towards there, the two-legged move. It's hard to say that people are trying to push the market back up here. Looks like everybody started selling. So after a spike down into a range and a spike down, people are looking for opportunity to go short again. So buying there is actually the better option. So what people are thinking here, and after this spike down, you got two-legged correction. People are thinking, wow, look at that move up. A ton of people are going to be buying. Let's all short. So everybody starts shorting, and that pushes the market right back up. So the reason we don't trade obvious, but trade against people who trade against the obvious, is because we're placing our orders where they place their orders. They're buying in that spot, we're selling in that spot. That's essentially why we don't trade obvious, because if we start trading obvious, we're going to take
the obvious trades and they don't have their orders in, if that makes sense. Just enter the trade. Damn it. So we should have sold right here. I thought the one I traded obvious. It was a swing high first entry. The most obvious thing to do here is buy. But we can imagine a ton of people still trying to buy this thing. We gotta come up with a strategy. I don't know if this one's actually working. Maybe it would have worked, but we had a spike up and people are gonna try to trade that right back down. Actually, that's why we bought. And I think that's what the obvious thing would be, to continue buying. Would be to sell, actually. Yeah. So I kind of missed that spike, but we had a drop here and we should have sold here. Because a ton of people are going to try to push the market here because everybody's assuming the market's going to keep going down. So you would have to actually sell there. So the most obvious thing is actually to sell. Just got in the trade. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Oh boy. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Push on up. Yeah. Let's go. Okay, so we bought here because the most obvious thing to do is to find an entry going long, to just buy market and just shoot this market up back to the highs. However, we don't enter the way other people enter by entering the obvious trades. We buy here once the market starts to push down, maybe even on a non-obvious, but we did a spike, one entry, so that worked out well. Originally I was going to do a 5-point entry, but 5-point entry was a little bit too far for me, and it was already a spike, so we did a 1-point entry. And so after the spike down, there's a spike down, there's another spike up. That's the most obvious thing, but a lot of those traders are going to try to stop those people out by going short here, and that actually burns them. And yeah, so it was a pretty good trade. Man, we should have bought here. I put the buy order in, but I canceled it. The reason you would buy here is because everybody is picturing that huge sell-off in their heads, like what we said before. I had the buy order in, but I changed it to a sell just to stick with the rules, but you want to be buying here because everybody's thinking about this over here. When you didn't really break out a level of resistance, or you break it out there, break it out there. You tested this a little bit, but yeah, buying there is the better option actually. Nice. We took a 5-point entry. Yeah. This was our signal bar was this guy. So 50, 5 points out. That was a 50 high and 50 low. Oh, it was actually triggered late, but yeah, 5-point entry. We sold right there on the same bar. Either way it works out, either on this bar or even this bar, works out fantastically. Yeah, good trade. Alright, and the reason why we bought here also is a ton of support. We can imagine a ton of people buying here as well. And once the market started to move in that direction, we can imagine a ton of people coming into the market and trying to buy because of those lows. Yeah. So, and people are still picturing, after spikes like that going up, people still have that at the back of their mind. So people are trying to catch the next move, and that was potentially it, but too late. But unfortunately, it happens over here for them, and yeah. So, good trade. There's a bunch of trades we missed because of we've been in and out. Yeah, but we hit the $30 mark, which is good. We would have stopped there, and that was it. Now we're switching back to the 450, 400. We were at the 700, but now we're at the 450. Just because well, it looks like after 12, the market just started to have more swings in a 1-minute chart, or more bars at least. Switching back to 700 because There's swings there that should not be there. Well, at least on the minute chart there is. There's a swing high, first entry. Swing high, first entry. But we won't be taking it. It's really double top. There's a double top here. First entry, second entry. There's a ton of support right here. We can imagine a ton of people trying to go long and look for another, like trying to reverse this thing, trying to push the market up. It is a little bit of a topping pattern, but there's a lot of support that we can imagine. A ton of people going long. So one tick entry going sideways was actually a pretty good entry. Yeah. Just entered the market. A little late. This is our signal bar way over here.
I'm trying to make you making me blind. What else?
Did you finish it? What does it say? Wow, good job, Nate. All right, your next word is the word little. Yes. Oh, start recording. Oh, we're in the trade, so. Did you write little? Next word is R. No, I want you to write. No, just write R. Just R. So like piece of me, I wish I didn't need chasing you relentlessly. You'll fight and I don't know why. Next word is look. Mm-hmm. Voice. Oh. All right, that's gonna be it for today.